Hello, everybody. This is Dina from the Love Divine Tarot, and welcome to my deep dive single card daily pull tarot lesson. And tonight we're doing the Page of Cups. And I think that this is the most hilarious card I've ever seen to depict the Page of Cups. This is from the Cat Tarot. Don't normally do this, but I'm actually going to be showing you two cards for the page tonight. And I think this one is great because his head is in the toilet. He's just kind of the perfect illustration of the kind of like goofy silliness, naivete that the Page of Cups means to me. So, as I always say, different cards have specific meanings to different readers. The most traditional, I'd say, interpretation of the Page of Cups is a sudden flash of creativity, of inspiration, of just something that comes to you all of a sudden. And it's usually it's of a very creative nature. It's something that it's kind of like the fires of creativity that just all of a sudden come to you, and it comes from your unconscious mind, and it's completely a gift from the gods. It's like when a writer starts a book and they say, it wasn't even like I was writing this, it was like I was channeling it. That's the Page of Cups energy. Or that's the most traditional interpretation, rather. However, this is not what it usually means in my readings at all. What it means in my readings is much, much more literal. It's usually representative of a person. As some of you know, I do love readings, so mostly it is representative of a person, a relationship, a person that you're in a relationship with. To me, the Page of Cups he's like Romeo and Juliet. He's completely love-struck, he's dreamy, he's looking up at this cup like it's his beloved, and like the ocean, the love is just flowing through him. This is teenage romance. This is puppy love. This is like the love's first blush. It's excitement, it's adventure, it's all the highs and lows of a first love. It's not the mature love of, say, like the 10 of Cups or the 9 of Cups. Not at all. It's not all the practicalities of love like the 10 of Pentacles. No, this is like first date when you're 14 kind of love. Like it's very strong, very emotional, and it just absolutely consumes you and takes your breath away. Now, the Page of Cups is not an unstable page. He's not like the Page of Swords. He's just a very dreamy, lovey person. He can be represented in your life by somebody who's very creative, somebody who is very emotional. Now, pages, like all of the royal cards, it can be a man or a woman, but typically in my readings, the page is going to represent a male figure, a man, or at least if you're not in a hetero, normative relationship, then if you're not in a traditional heterosexual relationship, it could be whoever has the more masculine energy. And yeah, the Page of Cups is just somebody who is just so new to love and just so fascinated by it. And he's really a fun person to be around because he has not lost his zest for life at all. Like he's just so creative and so enamored with everything. It's just a really cool energy to be around. Now, suppose you get the Page of Cups, but you're already in an established relationship. Well, this means some of that new Page of Cups energy is going to be coming into your relationship. It's a little bit of a fresh perspective, some of that awe and wonder of how things were in the beginning, like, just a little bit more of that newness and, kind of like ecstatic happiness you get in the beginning of a relationship is coming to you, is what the Page of Cups indicates. Now, it can also indicate, as our little cat friend here whose head is in the toilet, that you might be jumping into something and not completely looking at all the possible outcomes, that you might be really jumping in quick to something that looks good, but is it really going to be good? Well, time will tell. Or are there any shortcomings? Time will tell that too. But yeah, Page of Cups generally in a love reading is very, very good. It can mean the person's a little bit immature. It can mean the person is quite naive, but I can guarantee you they're going to be fun. And like I said, if you're already in a relationship, then some of that childlike fascination is going to come back, and you're going to be able to look at your partner with a little bit of a fresh perspective, fresh eyes, and they're going to be looking at you the same way. But yeah, look for somebody, when you get the Page of Cups, look for somebody who's in some kind of creative field, like they're an artist, they're a writer, they're into fashion or music or so. Oh my gosh, musicians, really well represented by the Page of Cups. Now, sometimes, even though the page is a very emotional creature, look how longingly and dreamily he's looking at that cup. He really wants love. Even though he is an emotional creature, he can sometimes have a really hard time articulating what he feels. He's not the most developed, mature communicator. He's very emotional, that's for sure, but he's not necessarily always able to put those into words. So let's talk about, what if this is not a romantic reading at all? Well, if it's about your career, about money, things are about to take a more creative turn. You're about to find out, or maybe do a different job, or maybe do a job where you'll be given some more responsibilities that are very creative oriented, something that you're going to be able to start finding a creative outlet for yourself. And it's generally, like I said, it's very positive. Now, sometimes for finance, it means whatever your current investment is, or whatever you're thinking about doing, especially if you're thinking about making a big investment or doing something that seems a bit risky, it means you're dreaming. Like the way the Page of Cups is looking at that cup, that's the way you're looking at this investment. Like you think like, oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to make so much money. I'm going to make a killing on this. And it's a proceed with caution card in that case. It's saying, yes, you're very enthusiastic about this, but you don't want to end up with your head in the toilet. So make sure that you're really examining this from all angles, and you're not getting caught up in the daydream. If it's all that glitters is not gold, is what it means for finances. That really, really examine it. Doesn't mean it's a terrible investment, but it generally indicates like a get-rich-quick scheme, or something that's like too good to be true. If it seems too good to be true, then examine it further, is the Page of Cups advice. So, I was out riding my bike, you guys, and I feel like I still haven't quite caught my breath yet. I'm still kind of like huffing and puffing. So, okay, let us talk about the reversal meanings of the page. Let me see if I can put them upside down. I forgot to bring a crystal out or anything to prop them up on, so let me see if I can do it. Oh, and by the way, if I've forgotten to say, what I'm using tonight is the Cat Tarot. That's the little guy here with his head in the toilet. And my all-time favorite deck, the Dark Mansion Tarot. I've noticed so many readers have this deck, and I was so surprised because I thought I was like super cool and nobody else had this, and it's so obscure. It's from this tarot studio in Poland called Taroteka. And I thought like, yeah, this is like this Polish deck. Nobody's going to have this. But no, a lot of people have it. A lot of people like it as much as I do. It's just a really, really cool deck, and I love the artistic style. And if you've gotten a private reading with me, then you know this is one that I'm really likely to whip out and say, okay, if you connect with the energy of this deck, then this is the one we'll use, because I love using it. So what does the Page of Cups in reverse mean? Well, if we're talking about an individual person, that person is probably troubled. That person has all the emotions that we're talking about with the Page of Cups. That person can be very loving or in love with someone, but it's not a happy love. It's a troubled, like almost obsessive, probably unrequited love. The person might be afraid of reality, whether it's to do with emotions, finances, illness, anything. Like they don't like to face reality. They find all these issues difficult to face. All the pages in reverse can indicate some sort of alcohol or drug abuse, because the pages, when that energy gets distorted, the pages tend to get tend to want to escape. They tend to want to rely on things like external comfort measures to help themselves feel better. And that's exactly what this is indicating. Like, if things for the Page of Cups are not going well, then you can bet he's not going to face it like a grown man. He's going to face it like he's going to want to go out and smoke too much weed and drink too much. So yeah, if you're dealing with somebody like this, that's that Page of Cups reversal energy. It can be somebody who just has a really hard time accepting themselves and, feels like they're not worth a lot, and whoever that they're in love with, would never want to be with them. They tend to be, if it's about love, this partner's really emotionally immature and really insecure and really convinced that they're not good enough for their partner. And that's where 99% of their problems come from, is from this just insecurity, uncertainty, and feeling like, they just don't measure up, that they have a lot of imposter syndrome, the Page of Cups in reverse. And, not to mention that creative people, extremely creative, artistic people, do tend to be prone to depression and other mental illnesses and also substance abuse. So watch out for that. If you know a Page of Cups that is in this kind of distorted reversal energy, always encourage them to talk to someone and do what you can to, just help them realize their worth. And for goodness sake, if you're the one they're in love with, let them know that you love them and value them back, because they really need to hear that. Now for career, again, the reversal with the Page of Cups is always about some kind of immaturity. Emotional, vulnerable at work, insecure at work, and then having creative blocks. The Page of Cups, probably more than any other card, indicates an artist or a creative type. But if it's reversed, it indicates the situation that is basically a fate worse than death for them, that they are just completely creatively blocked, or they're getting there, that they're just not, they're not producing the work they want, they're not happy with the work they are producing, and they're just having a really hard time with life. Page of Cups, like I said, it can go really bad really fast because he doesn't have a lot of strength. He's a lovable character, he's got he's just really fun, he's really cute, he's really naive. Like I said, it's like your cat that you kind of laugh at when he falls in the toilet. Like, he's really sweet, but he doesn't have like a lot of strength to fall back on when things don't go well. He's got to be saved. He's no emperor yet, he's still the Page, even though he wears his heart on his sleeve a lot more, even though he's kind of clumsy about articulating it. And finances, just be really careful if you get the Page of Cups in a financial reading, particularly in reverse, because it means that something looks like gold, or you might really want something to be gold, and something might be glittering, but it's probably not. So examine it really, really closely, and then go examine it again before you put your money into it, because that Page of Cups is not a sound financial investment. He might be a lot of things. He might be really fun to party with. He might be really nice and sweet and cuddly, but he's not good with finances. So don't give your money to him. All right, guys, I hope that was helpful. I know that I hate it when YouTubers always say this, but please like and subscribe, as it helps my tiny baby channel grow a little bit and get more viewers so I can have more people see my tarot readings and lessons and all that good stuff. Come join my Facebook group, The Love Divine, on Facebook. Surprise, spoiler, it's a Facebook group and it's on Facebook. But yeah, we'd love to have you there just to chat about life, love, what's going on in this crazy coronavirus quarantine world. I think we were all talking about today just about how, like, what are your best quarantine tips? Like, what are you doing to keep yourself sane? And got some really good ideas there. So, okay, guys, it has been a pleasure. I will see you for the next reading. I love you guys, and have a wonderful evening.